My plea to the government is that I know CS Mbadi as a strict guy, somebody who understands the plight of the poor families. You have been the chairman of the ODM party, and you know what ODM party stands for. By you declaring that the government is unable to fund primary and secondary education fully, it's like telling us that whatever vision that Kibaki had.
Thank you very much. My name is Gildon, Opati, Shioso. I'm the MCA Butsotso. And as a former educator and a concerned citizen of this land, I'm here today to try and express my frustrations over the issue of bursaries and school fees funding in this nation. Earlier this year, if everyone can really recall, the control of budget froze county bursary issuance to new beneficiaries beyond the 2024-2025 financial year, citing circular number 1 of the 2025 and conditions tied to intergovernmental agreements. This issue resulted into of students not being able to access already budgeted bursary funds, leaving families and schools in limbo. And although the High Court in its ruling later clarified that the freeze applied only to new bursaries in the next financial year, allowing counties to disburse already approved funds for 2024-2025, the interim delay has caused significant disruption and denied timely support to vulnerable families and even the learners in those respective schools. Recently, the Treasury CS John Mbadi publicly confirmed that the government can no longer sustain full funding of free primary and secondary education capitation. Statements that have left parents and schools worried. Like today, I was trying to interact with some parents and they are very much worried. Despite a policy cap of Kenya shillings 22,000 per secondary school student and 15,000 for junior, then Kenya shillings 1,400 for primary. Actual disbursements have only reached about Kenya shillings 16,000 to 17,000 per child. And you know, Parliament's cuts to the capitation allocation only compounded the shortfall, shifting the burden to families. CS Mbadi further pronounced or proposed redirecting up to 40% of the CDF bursary allocation, amounting to roughly Kenya shillings 21 billion, to close the funding gap and support capitation across all the learners. You know, as a community, I think there is a legal ambiguity in delay, and the bursary case meant students missed critical education opportunities, and that is what people of South Butsotso are going through. This systematic underfunding of capitation means schools have limited ability to operate without forcing extra levies on parents, and therefore the county bursaries, the CDF bursaries, national capitation, it's really, I know, somebody or an educationist will say this one causes duplication, inefficiency, and we can say inequity. So what do I propose to this government? We call for the creation of a single national education fund. Now somebody is asking himself, what is this single national education fund? We can have
these funds being matched, the CDF bursary allocations, the county bursary schemes, capitation funding for primary through secondary, and then support for tertiary and university via the high education funding portal. You know, when we have such kind of a fund, that fund should be managed by the National Treasury in coordination with the Ministry of Education to ensure that there is equitable distribution based on need and enrollment of the learners in their respective schools. The Ministry, the Treasury and the Ministry of Education working together also ensure transparent budgeting and disbursements to avoid county level confusion of legal entanglements that we have seen coming up every time. There will also, I know through this we will be able to realize efficiency and scale, trying to minimize overhead of multiple bursary committees of political interference. So, under this structure, I am sure that families will be shielded from unpredictable bursary applications and all the other processes. And every child from primary school through to university will be supported consistently, irrespective of where this land is coming from. Whether you are coming from a rich background, whether you are coming from a poor background, whether you are coming from a middle class, this kind of fund will be equal and will be supporting all the learners across the board. So, what's my appeal? You know, I must make an appeal to the CS, John Mbadi. CS, please, move decisively to adopt the integrated model you have mentioned. Because the truth is, if we don't move with speed, we are going to have very many school dropouts, crime is going to increase, unemployment is going to increase, and there will be no proper organization. Therefore, rechanneling CDF bursary resources into consolidated fund that ensures full capitation and bursary coverage will be like a steadfast that will enable all the learners in all the schools to ensure that the education and the level of learning and the capitation that they've been receiving from the school is now there and not limited. You should also stop the piecemeal funding and protect the learners' right to an interpreted education. Because this kind of a statement coming from the CS Treasury, it's a worrying trend. To the Ministry of Education, develop and make operational a legal and administrative framework to manage this fund that I've given a proposal. Engage with the governors and local leaders to streamline enrollment tracking via the KEMIs and ensure nobody is included. This one will also close the gap between only those who know so and so are the beneficiaries of the bursary and these other funding schemes. And to the President of this nation, His Excellency, President William Ruto, please, you said very well that you came from a humble background. You know what it means by coming from a humble background. Champion this model at the highest level possible. Direct your ministries of education and treasury to dissolve redundant bursary programs and institute the Unified National Fund, guaranteeing education justice and eliminating duplication. We don't want duplication, yes, but where are our children going? So why is this matter a concern to the people of Butsotso South? As a former teacher and a community member of this region, I know schools cannot deliver quality education under chronic underfunding. Teachers leave, learners drop out, and things of the sort will take now center stage. And wherever we are headed, we may be headed towards promoting the best CBC curriculum that we are trying to adjust to. Mothers and fathers are forced into debt or pull children from school due to capitation, shortfalls, or delayed county bursaries. There is also a unified fund which promotes fairness across counties, because if we have equal distribution of funds in all the schools in Kenya, if we have proper funding in relation to the enrollment in a particular school, we shall have our schools moving ahead properly. So my plea to the government is that I know CS Mbadi as a strict guy, somebody who understands the plight of the poor families. You have been the chairman of the ODM party, and you know what ODM party stands for. By you declaring that the government is unable to fund primary and secondary education fully, it's like telling us that whatever vision that Kibaki had on free primary and secondary education is coming to an end. In the budget, I was forced to go through the website and look at the budget again. And I can see funds, I can see travel budgets, travel and allowance budgets. I can see all funds everywhere. So my question is, Mbadi, why instead of telling us that the government is unable to support free primary and secondary education, why can't you be a champion of the first supplementary budget? Why can't you via funds from the other vote heads put that money in the Ministry of Education? Please fund the schools to allow children go to school. The only gift a government can give to a young person is education. And it will be so embarrassing to have this free primary and free secondary education collapse under your leadership. Let the government take this seriously. Let them wake up. Let them come up with the solutions. And we need to have a moving nation. A good nation is the one that moves forward, not the one that goes backwards. We have been having free primary and free secondary education. We are now in the 21st century. Removing it, are we going forward economically or we are going backwards? This is a big letdown. Let it reach to everyone and let everyone speak. Let us make noise until the government reinstates free primary and free secondary education. Thank you very much.